So let's start, guys. Okay, so with regard to your assignment, right? Someone is asking me when is the due date. Is it on the blackboard? What is written on the blackboard? The due date on the blackboard.
On the blackboard, it's 8, but the assignment you said the 10th.
So give me on 10th if there is a confusion. Okay, so 10th is the last day, 10th May, right? Okay,
let me see.
I'm giving you 2 more days. But not later than that, right? Okay, so let's start. So today, as I said, I'm having a problem with uploading Unit 3, but I'm going to go through Unit 4. Okay, Unit 4 will be examining the role of NGOs in corporate social responsibility. You have gone through in the first chapter, we have gone through NGOs, corporate social responsibility, and social entrepreneurship, right? So why corporate social responsibility and why NGOs? Can someone tell me? Have you gone through these units? Have you gone through Unit 3 or Unit 4? I know you have lots of assignment, but please let me know if you have gone through or if you have any idea what is all about corporate social responsibility and NGOs, how corporate social responsibility and NGOs are working together. Can anyone tell me? Devika, can you please tell me, even in Creole, how NGOs and corporate social responsibility, what is the relationship between these two? Devika? I can't hear you, Devika, please. Or you can write on the message, I will receive it, and then I will say who. Yeah, financing NGOs. Someone told me it's corporate responsibility is financing NGOs. They're very good. So what is the role of NGOs? Why corporate social responsibility? Why? For what purpose corporate social responsibility, the corporate are providing funding? And what are NGOs doing?
Because NGOs, they manage various financial assistance programs.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why CSR help them via finances.
Okay, you have to just wait for me because there is a confusion in class. You received the latest, the last, how do you say, the last timetable from Mrs. Gangia? Let me talk to them. I think there is... Vous êtes pas 10h30, ça? Non, vous êtes 10h... Non, 10h30, parti fini sans heure. Attends un petit moment. Oui, vous te rappelez qu'il y a une confusion. La fois dernière, qu'il est motivé avec eux? 8h30 ou bien motivé 10h30? Oui, mais tu 10h30, ça. Attends, moi, on va les autres new timetable qui m'ont gagné. Un 6 minutes, hein? OK? Attends. Parce qu'il y a un clash. Parce qu'il m'a gagné 2 classes même là. Ah, ben ça même, Kouraram, tu peux acheter là. Moi, tu peux dire. Ouais. Mais 10h30, qui s'en a avec eux? 10h30. Demande Banline coûte. Non, demande Banline coûte. Fais-moi connaître vite parce que moi, je fais une confusion là. Rappelle-moi si tu as une confusion. Un petit minute. Allez, mon pas tant de call là. Hein? OK? Allez. Guys, there is a confusion. I'm waiting for others, but I will continue with the class, right? I will wait. Let me check again the timetable. Timetable. Change in time. No, you're okay. Social work practice to share as attachment PDF. Sorry guys, you have to wait a bit to Sigulam. Right. Okay, we continue. I sent, okay, yeah, with Manti. Yeah. So someone said better distribution of finance for poor people, right? So it's good because corporate social responsibility is all about financing for community development program. As I said, when you go in National Social Inclusion Foundation, which is managing the funding of corporate social responsibility, they are providing fund to NGOs, okay? They are providing fund to NGOs to implement activities with regard to community development, right? Is it clear? Because you have to understand this bit or else you will not be able to go all through this unit. So we are going to see the linkage, the linkage between NGOs and the CSR activities of large corporation. But here in Mauritius, it's not. Allez, oui, bonjour. Oui, oui, oui. Non, c'est 10h30. Je viens d'envoyer le timetable là. OK. C'est-à-dire. Parce que j'ai parlé à monsieur Obila. Oui. Il a eu un petit contrevenant, mais je vais voir avec lui. Oui, parce que moi, je suis en train de faire NGO CSR là. Ah, d'accord, vous avez déjà. Oui, oui. Allez, OK. Allez, pas de problème. Okay, so we are going to familiarize with the linkages between NGOs and CSR activities. And we are going to outline the main reason why companies and NGOs collaborate to advance. Sorry, guys. These the students are calling me because they are still having confusion. So to outline and discuss the nature of these linkages, why there is a link, and how they genuinely contribute to address social issues as opposed to advancing mutual self-interest. So we are going to see why NGOs and CSR are working together, and whether there is advantages or limitation to this process and to this collaboration, right? So it is now widely known that over the last couple of decades, there has been an exponential increase in terms of interaction between businesses and NGOs concerning issues of CSR. Can someone tell me whether there is an interaction between business and NGOs in Mauritius, and since when? Since when? I will pick and choose. Okay, so Manish, est-ce qu'il y a une collaboration entre ban business et ban NGOs depuis quand on connaît? Est-ce qu'il est depuis longtemps ou bien c'était là? Manish? Manish? Non. Rina? Rina? Or anyone can answer me?
Oui, madame.
Oui, dis-moi. Dis-moi.
Vous pensez à Stella?
Tu penses à Stella, OK.
Non,
Emma?
depuis longtemps.
Depuis longtemps. Any other person who want to answer? Anyone who want to intervene? Devika? Devika? I think she's having problem. There is a red, okay. So the interaction, the collaboration between business and NGOs is since decades in Mauritius, because long time people like businesses were giving like CSR on a voluntary basis. It was not mandatory, but recently it has become mandatory, right? So this existed long ago. They said it was voluntary, it was philanthropy, right? So it has been noted that the nature of interaction between NGOs and the business sector has also changed. You see, it has changed. Relation between NGOs and corporations have generally shifted from being overly confrontational or adversarial to becoming more collaborative. Now they are becoming more collaborative. You remember in Unit 1, we were talking about Nike campaign, about Nestle campaign, about, I told you to go and read in your manual. There are lots of examples, okay? Publicized confrontational strategies which has been adopted by NGOs against large corporations, forcing them to review the practice and priorities. I don't know if you remember, recently there was an issue about the sewage system from a textile industry. They were like the system of waste management was not good, and there was an issue. Who remember this case? Can anyone tell me? J'ai un problème, quand tu peux colorier ban jean, tu peux tous autres déchets, mais tu pas faire un système waste management bien. Là, tout ça là, tu peux aller vers la rivière, qui tu peux polluer. Go and read, you will find it on web, right? The company provide for CSR. Yeah, very good. So under the influence of NGO pressure and the reputation risk, this entails business increasingly accept a responsibility in solving social issues and engage NGOs in their CSR efforts, right? So instead of being confrontational, they now accept their responsibility. For example, when you see the sugar estate everywhere, when long time back, you see, because the sugar estate were using lots of like the roads and sugarcane were like sugarcane and everything. You will see that the roundabout, you will see when you will see the roundabout in the highway, not the highway, the nouvelle route, tout ça, you will see it's written State Bank. So they accept the responsibility. They are keeping the environment clean, right? So by proactively engaging in collaboration, you see proactive, they are not reactive now, they're proactive. Before something gets worse, they proactively engage in collaborative relationships with NGOs. The business sector, the risk of costly confrontations and reap the benefits of collaboration. So instead de la guerre, je veux dire qu'il faut nous pas travailler ensemble et nous bénéficier both have a win-win solution. So on the other hand, a growing number of NGOs acknowledging the ever-increasing power of the market sector and seeing no point in opposing this trend, chooses a collaborative approach towards businesses in search of win-win solutions that serve economic as well as social and environmental interests. Is it clear so far? Is it clear? Anyone can answer, please? Or is it too fast?
It's okay, ma'am.
It's okay. So Porter and Kramer describes this as a new perspective on CSR, proactive and strategic form of CSR in which both mutual dependencies with NGOs can be made more productive in both corporate and societal terms. So this role for CSR has specifically been accentuated at a time when the state on its own across the world, but particularly in developing countries, has shown its limits in terms of its ability to solve social problems. You see, across the world, but particularly in developing countries, has shown its limit in terms of its ability to solve social problems, right? So what has brought the emergence of partnership, right, between NGOs and the corporate sector? OK? Qu'est-ce a fait qui nous fait sa collaboration là? Nous causons depuis longtemps, nous causons dans Unit 1, nous fait causer commencement. Qu'est-ce a fait qui nous fait collaborer? Partnership in solving social issues. So Omar saw the world as being flat, hitting at the relative ease with in which MNE can do business whatever they feel like. MNE, tu te connais que ça veut dire? What is MNE? What is MNE? What is MNE, guys? Multinational enterprises, right? So likewise, Greco and Ekenberry refer to the emergence of a single economy, the world economy. Pareil que nous dire, nous avons KFC ici, nous avons KFC de l'Inde, nous avons KFC de l'Angleterre, nous avons KFC. Ça nous dit the world is flat, okay? Après, il pas living in single economy, après living in world economy. So these scholars were alluding in evocative terms to the emergence of globalizations, where corporations are granted the freedom to expand their operation with little limitations, right? So the broadened scope and scale of economic conduct mean that negative externalities such as socioeconomic as well as environmental impact, such as climate change and loss of biodiversity, are globalized as well. Okay, the geographical boundaries of socioeconomic and environmental problems increasingly transcend the jurisdiction of individual nation state. Je dis pour le moment, pas pour un problème juste dans Maurice. Problème là, les global, les partout, right? Pareil comme quand nous avons COVID, right? Pareil comme quand nous avons COVID n'est pas une affaire pour un pays, il n'est pas séculaire, il n'est pas un seul pays, il y a de plusieurs pays. Ça veut dire quand on a comment dire comment on a MNIs quand je plante une firme dans n'importe quel pays, ça veut dire ça problème là il vient global parce que par exemple quand on a beaucoup de place je trouvais KFC mon à 4 bonnes KFC côté pour lui et donc tu fermes parce que je tiens un environment environmental issues, comment nous dire, waste, so pas capable manage bien. Après, comment dire, health and safety, pas capable. Et tout ça, un problème là. Là, qu'est-ce que tu fais? Qu'est-ce que tu fais? Tu mets un petit l'argent parce qu'il est affecté. Moi, je peux dire un petit exemple. Mais il y a une grande firme qui a un problème, qui crée un problème. Et là, je donne de l'argent, je mets de l'argent pour faire ça, l'environnement là, bien propre. Right? Now, so the regulated power and the mandate of governments are put into question by the increasing power of multinational. It is often quoted that half of the 100 biggest economies in the world are now corporations that are more powerful than the government of developing countries in which they may even have business presence. These companies can have constructive because they are contributing in the socioeconomic development, and destructive impact on the communities where they operate. So the environment where they operate, they can have destructive impact because it can affect. For example, get stone crushers, qui fait acheter là, pas trop dans un village, mais bien dans remote areas parce qu'il affecte la santé Banjimun, right? So these shifting power relations have scattered the resources and capabilities for addressing different aspects of the increasingly global problem across the major societal sector, the market, the state, and the civil society. Civil society, as I said, are including NGOs. So actors throughout all sectors of the society. So actors throughout all sectors of the society have become increasingly interdependent in addressing global social and environmental problems. So all sectors of society, that is government, private sector, and guys, and les mêmes enfants, and civil society. So this interdependence in solving problems leads to a process known in sector blurring. Sometimes it's sector blurring. So with the roles and responsibility of the societal sectors are less clearly defined. OK? Je dis, oui, nous travaillons ensemble, mais parfois, nous pouvons guetter en bas là, nous pouvons guetter dans les autres slides. Comment les finit bien blurring? Je ne sais pas que ça n'a pas fait quoi. OK? Sector blurring. Est-ce qu'il me rôle ça? Moi, je private sector. Est-ce que moi, je besoin faire travail gouvernement? Ou bien moi, un NGO, est-ce que moi, je besoin faire travail gouvernement? So, there been sector blurring, right? So, the result in the emergence of all sorts of arrangements of state agencies, market agents, and civic parties from the local to the global level concerned with addressing societal problems. Rina, you have anything to add? You raise your hand?
No mistake.
Okay. So herein lie the emergent interest in partnership in the realm of CSR, which can be attributed to the realization that strategic partnership, what is strategic partnership? What is strategic partnership? I told you in the first unit, what is strategic partnership? Je vais une réviser là. Okay, I choose someone. Okay. Isha? What is strategic partnership? Allez-vous, even in Creole. Dis-moi. Qui ça veut dire strategic partnership? Non? Long-term and focalized action. Yeah. Shoba? What is strategic partnership?
It's a relationship between maybe two companies, CSO and NGOs.
It is very well calculated. Stratégie. Nous dire ça, nous fait aller bien. OK? Devika said relationship between two companies. Yeah, it's a relationship, but it is very strategic. Nous pouvons faire ça, nous pouvons faire ça, nous pouvons faire ça, one which will benefit both parties. Yeah, and it is very strategic. Nous faire ça, nous pas pour faire ça de blurring. Nous avons un plan d'action, ok. Strategic. Vous connaissez ça veut dire strategic plan? You know what is a strategic plan? Nous finissons faire plan qui nous peut faire. Some qui dit when the parties involved have different strategic orientation, the synergy they create can be powerful. Yeah, a well-devised plan. So the fact that in some countries CSR have also become mandatory has further made it a logical move for corporations to involve NGOs in the community service and outreach agenda. For example, in Mauritius, okay, it's mandatory. There are other countries where it's mandatory. You have to go and look for it, right? So it is a relationship within two companies, usually formalized. Yeah. So Vinesh, yeah, it's a good one. So in terms of mutual motivation for NGOs and corporation to collaborate, it is useful to make a distinction between instrumental and moral. Qu'est-ce que ça veut dire instrumental? Allez, qu'est-ce que ça veut dire instrumental? Allez, nous avons un piano, ou bien nous avons la guitare. Un instrument, ça non? Qu'est-ce que ça veut dire instrumental, vous êtes? An instrumental motivation. Allez, guys, are we waiting? What is instrumental? And what is moral motivation? Anyone? Lindsay? No? Instrumental vous êtes. Sinon, on fait nous la musique.
Essential.
Sorry?
Essential.
Instrumental veut dire, essential, instrumental veut dire bien calculé. Une stratégie. Moral veut dire, à mon cas donné. Moral veut dire, mon vie donné. Moralité. OK? Right? A mean of pursuing an aim or policy. Instrumental, bien calculated. OK, nous pouvons faire ça, nous pouvons faire ça. Par exemple, quand nous faisons la musique, nous disons, OK, nous faisons do, ré, mi, fa, sol, la, mi, do. Right? Moral. Il dépend de moi. Il n'est pas calculé, il n'est pas non rien, il dépend de moi. You will see what is the difference between instrumental and so. Instrumental, a look at how the interaction between corporation and NGO is dealt with in the discourse of CSR reveal an overwhelming tendency to characterize that interaction as a purely market-oriented relationship, right? The market-oriented, such as corporate economic strategy, you see, strategic alliance of collaborative leadership with little application to corporate social responsibility, sustainability or stakeholder engagement beyond the economic implementation, or put simply as a mere business case. Instrumental, mo bisa faire ça. Pareil comme quand l'invin mandatory, l'invin instrumental. Mo pour obliger faire ça, mo bisa faire ça. Frequently mentioned instrumental motivation for corporation to engage with NGOs include the notion that constructive engagement, constructive, instrumental, si mo faire ça, pour gagner ça la musique là. Si mo faire ça, mo pour gagner ça bénéfice là. Si mo faire ça, mo pour prendre un risque pour. Okay, Lindsay, no problem. Right? So constructive and diminishes the risk of NGOs attack. They're very calculated, and that such engagement can provide valuable market information. Okay, instrumental CSR. Moi, je peux faire les parce que je peux gagner ça. Right? Now, so for NGOs, engagement with business is mainly motivated by the power issue. Big business has such a major influence on the lives and livelihoods of people all around the world that NGOs cannot afford not to try to influence it, right? Judging the potential of a partner, NGO with a win-win situation in mind, require that companies only take into account the claim of non-adversarial NGOs. So to it calculate instrumental. So that is essentially a watchdog without teeth. Or it leads corporation to cooperate with front groups, that is, with business organizations that are disguised as NGOs, right? So the instrumental perspective on NGO business partnership is thus part of a larger scheme which revolves around CSR as a business opportunity, as a means to accommodate pressure to avoid regulation by emphasizing voluntarism rather than legal obligation or public accountability. Right? Is it clear? Is it clear? Si c'est pas clair, vous devez dire moi, vous pourrez faire les. Yes. Is it clear for everyone? Is it clear, guys? Okay. So moral motivation. Moral motivation is an alternative way of approaching CSR, consists in seeing it as a political process in which business reacts to social pressure. By adopting a political perspective on CSR, political pas veut dire gouvernement, hein? Political pressure, c'est political CSR. Vous êtes envie de faire moralité. By adopting a political perspective on CSR on the specific issue of NGO business partnership, the win-win perspective which characterizes instrumental CSR is replaced by a view of partnership as an arrangement in which cooperation and NGOs together engage for common good, right? Moral motivation, mon envie. Moi pas calculer si moi gagnant ou bien moi gagnant. Moral motivation. Comment longtemps, quand tu peux dans ça, moi je peux dire CSR, il existait depuis bien longtemps. Par exemple, longtemps, quand tu es dans le football, ben, l'équipe football, ben, compagnie ma Rogers, compagnie mandatory, tu peux donner ben t-shirt, banderole, ce qui fait, les pas tu peux dire pour gagner quelque chose, tu as une chose qui peut gagner. Mais at the same time, tu peux envie de promouvoir, tu peux envie de donner ça, is a common good for everyone. OK? Ou soit 6 mois, get comme longtemps, ben Sugar State, right? Quand tu peux get ban Sugar State, dans tout ça, Sugar State, là, tu as notre own dispensaire, tu peux donner housing facilities, mais pas mandatory, tu peux dire dans d'autres cas, tu peux donner. Moi-même, moi, je peux alcooliser, mon papa, tu peux travailler de fuel, moi, tu peux gagner bis pour aller, but this is for common good, moral. Si moi, vous donne ça, banjoumoun là, ça va une facilité là, mais moi, vais travailler pour plus motiver pour venir travailler et je n'ai pas besoin de mettre long laqué dans l'hôpital, les enfants, si pour lire, je gagne bis pour aller, je n'ai pas besoin de tracasser pour payer le transport, tout ça. These are moral motivation. Okay? So by conceptualizing specifically for common good. So by conceptualizing partnership between NGOs and corporations as a public and therefore political matter, political CSR assign both parties involved a political role. Based on such a perspective on CSR, partnership between NGOs and corporations have a public character, right? Because they claim to undertake action, rulemaking, foster technical and social innovation, managing and issue area of development process, promoting education, and so on, that serve public ends, right? So de trouver sa différence between instrumental c'est win-win. Si moi pour donner ça, moi pour gagner ça. Si moi pas pour la guerre, moi pour gagner ça. OK? Mais moral, c'est quand nous disons, nous donnons, pas fait rien. Moi pas attendre qu'il me gagne quelque chose avec mon prochain, avec la personne, mon bénéficiaire, right? So corporations who see the engagement with NGOs as a mean to provoke the common good can be expected to care about whether the NGO in question is effectively a representative of public claims, because if not, they would have to reconsider the engagement. Mais aussi, pareil, comme quand on fait les PDAO qui for common good, est-ce que vraiment, ça NGOs là, ou bien ça club là, par exemple comme NGO, est-ce qu'ils peuvent faire quelque chose de bon pour la société? OK? Any question? Any question, guys? No? So before I start with the advantage of NGO CSR partnership, which is very important, you can have it in your exam. In any of these questions, if there is advantage and limitation, you have to put this. So as you are 22, anyone having problem with assignment? Guys, any question on assignment? Any question on unit 1 and unit 2? No? No question? Okay.
Ma'am, for
Yeah.
the assignment, it's a critically discussed, so we have to put the pros and cons.
Yeah, of course. That's why I stop here. You see, you have to critically discuss about the relationship. You remember? What is the question? Tell me.
Critically discuss
What is
the role of the
what? Yeah.
government and the NGO in achieving any two of CDGs in Mauritius.
SDGs, yeah,
Yes,
SDGs, any
SDGs.
two, right? So when you are writing about poverty, right? If you are writing, say, for example, no poverty, no hunger, or gender, I think gender equality. I think I gave you five of
Yes.
these SDGs. So
Yes.
you have to say what the government is doing and what the NGOs are doing, right? Okay, in achieving this. You will see on the national voluntary national review, SDGs. You will see it online. There is a report which has already been submitted to the high level political forum, which has been presented. You will see in the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. You will see what the government has done with regard to poverty, and you have to go online and see what NGOs are doing in promoting the goals, right? In terms of, you will have all the 17 goals, but you have to go and read on the five goals, right? And then it's easy to go and see, and from your knowledge, from what you observe, you can write what is being done in Mauritius. And also, you can go and see in the National Social Inclusion Foundation, what are the NGOs, who are the NGOs who are doing like poverty alleviation, gender equality. You will see projects, and then you go in Act Together. You will have lots of link of these NGOs, and you have the website of these NGOs, and you go and see what they are doing. All right. And then you analyze critically whether they are doing the job well. So why you can put you don't put a question, put the question in your mind. So why poverty still exists? Why gender inequality still exists? The why. Then you critically analyze this. The government is doing this. Government is giving CSR to NGOs. The government is giving like direct services, for example, through National Empowerment Foundation, things like that. Okay, so what the government is doing, the role, not too much, but still you have to be within the limit, word limits, like 2,000 words. So you write and you critically analyze. I need the analysis, the why. Okay, whether they are doing well. Okay, you have to give me example. Yes, government is doing this and this, but why the government is not doing this? Whether they are creating parasite on social welfare. For example, if you're going to critically analyze, for example, poverty, you say, okay, government is giving too much because the government is creating the parasite. Yeah, for example, things like that. Or government is not like NGOs are doing only, say, for example, National Social Inclusion Foundation is giving funding for a specific project, but there is no continuity of this project. So what happened after that, right? Say, for example, Caritas is giving basic necessities. What happened if the funding funding, there's no funding if the project is for 1 year, and then what happened after 1 year. So these are the things you have to critically analyze. And if you can give me like 2 or 3 recommendation, okay, when you critically analyze, when you give like, okay, government is not doing, so what government should do, what NGOs should do, right? For example, if you can say, okay, one of the very what critical I say, what the very important thing that are not being done in Mauritius. There are things that are not being done in Mauritius, is a research carried. There is no research with regard to poverty, like in depth. There are like, for example, Caritas carry out like some social inquiry, some how do you say, personal. They have profile of poor people, but there is no in-depth research on poverty in Mauritius, right? If, for example, you carry out, because sometimes you see there are people, the poor people get like, say, for example, school material, right? So there are companies giving shoes, uniform to poor people, say SBM is giving, NAF is giving, NGOs are giving. Sometimes one child can get 3, 4 pairs of, so there is no like, there is no, how do you say, like good analysis. So the child needs shoes, uniform, so there is no like planning, there is no strategic plan, one planning. So these are the things you can criticize and go and see for more example, like there should be like very in-depth like research where you can have the needs, the real needs of these people, right? And also about, if you can have, I know NAF has some social inquiry where they ask people what they want to do, okay? Then you can motivate them or put them in like in training. So these are the things you can write, okay? So these are the things I want to see in your assignment with regard to your assignment, which is related to what has been asked, okay? Is it clear? Is it clear? So you give me an introduction about the SDGs you are dealing with, and then you give me what are being done, and then you criticize, and then you give me a recommendation. Is it clear, guys? Ni clear là?
Yes.
Okay. Any question before I start this advantage and disadvantage? Any question? I think, are you having problem to submit through Blackboard? Have you already submitted any assignment on Blackboard?
Yes.
So no problem then.
No.
Okay, because I think someone wrote to me and was asking how to upload. So if you don't mind, if you can submit on Blackboard, and do you have my email address? If you can submit one on my email, will be okay. Guys?
Oui, madame, moi je n'ai pas l'assignment sur Blackboard, j'ai reçu par mail.
Oui. Mais tu peux,
C'est ça.
non. But can you submit it on Blackboard?
Par message, parce que pour les autres profs, ils ont un link comme ci.
Comment?
C'est écrit assignment, on doit mettre dessus directement, mais pour vous, il n'y a pas.
Il n'y a pas?
Non.
No, but there is, no?
Non, moi je vois que le manuel.
Ah bon? Non, c'est dans ça. There is, how do you say, in Markbook. because there is this assignment in workbook. There is a section of assignment where I have uploaded this. Others, where have you received? Is it on Blackboard? Moun poste li, gouzo djama mou bizak poste lo workbook. Sa moun poste li lo workbook.
Yes, au fait, ban professeur, je t'envoie sur content même, je t'envoie sur content, et je crée un link que nous capable avoir nos assignments directement le sa content là. Et là, il finit grade là-bas même. Mais le fait qu'on envoie sur gradebook, donc nous
Oui.
n'avons aucune option pour nous avoir assignment le gradebook là. This is a question, nous can read only, comment dire. Nous pas
Ah,
capable.
d'accord. Ben mou pou kreye, mou pou envoye zut. Okay?
Yes, you can put it, you can upload it on the content itself. Then
Yeah.
we can upload the assignment on the content.
Ah, d'accord, d'accord. So I will upload the assignment, right? And then
Yes.
I have to create a link? No. Or will it
Uh,
go directly?
It will be directly, I suppose, parce que tout ce qui nous gagne, les autres upload directement le content. Là, nous avons un link qui la donne, nous qu'à envoyer.
Okay. I will put it on. Okay, Nisha say it's not on Blackboard. But it's on Gradebook. I have just
It
checked.
is
It's
on
on
Blackboard.
Gradebook.
Yes, it is on Blackboard.
Yes.
It's on Gradebook.
Yeah. So I will upload it in content then, right?
Yes.
And then you will
Yes.
have this link, right? Okay. So I will do it after this class, and you can receive it, and then you can upload your assignment there, right? Okay. Any other question? No. Okay, so let's continue with the main advantage of NGO CSR partnership. Any questions so far? I'm putting my email address on the chat. You can copy, and if you can send me one of your assignment. Okay. So the main advantage of NGO CSR partnership first is access to financial resources. As I said, CSRs have lots of money. So the main advantage is access to financial resources from the business sector. So CSR funds is a major and self-evident reason for collaborative arrangements. NGOs often partner the business sector in order to generate financial resources and to create markets for sustainable products. A partnership with a company can be a great help in scaling up their activities. It has to be noted, however, that not all partnerships transfer money from business to NGOs. Some NGOs do not take money from businesses at all, and there are partnerships with equal financial contribution from all parties, right? Parfois, ban NGOs, je pas prend l'argent. Qu'est-ce que tu fais? Disons, moi, je peux faire une activité, right? Moi, je peux faire une activité. Moi, je peux dire, OK, banner pour coûter autant, manger pour coûter autant. Mais là, ce qui est bien fait, c'est bien envoyer ça un récit là, ban CSR, ban compagnie là, et ça ban compagnie là, je finis envoyer ça, je paye, faire paiement là direct. Ou soit, and there are partnership with equal financial contribution from all parties, OK? Ça veut dire, moi, je mets la moitié ou mettre la moitié. Ça veut dire access to financial resources, NGO CSR partnership. Deuxième, c'est access to knowledge and expertise, right? Chaque secteur, il y a son knowledge, il y a son expertise. Disons, moi, mon travail at grassroots level, moi, je connais bien about the needs of the people, et tandis que ban compagnie, je ban professionnel, je connais comment pour garder ban livre, je ban comptable, tout ça là, et je connais comment vous êtes capable de travailler tous les deux ensemble pour eliminate social issues. So the input of local expertise and knowledge of partners involved is mentioned as an advantage. Multinational corporation, for example, can be interested in the knowledge of NGOs on environmental management or when operating on an international scale, in the knowledge of local NGOs on habits and custom in a specific region. Parce que si une compagnie a envie de l'argent, disons dans le sud, OK? Il a envie de l'argent pour les enfants handicapés. Mais il pas pour connaître. Mais tandis que Southern Handicap Welfare Association, qui travaille avec ces enfants-là, lui, pour connaître qui sont là, combien l'argent, qui activité ban NGOs là, qui se fait bien. Là, ça va s'accompagner là, est capable de funding. So NGOs on the other hand can be interested, you see, in the capabilities and resources that businesses have. Par exemple, si moi, mon NGO, mon papa peut faire la comptabilité, mon cas dire ça NGO, sa compagnie qui me donne l'argent là, mais aide-moi pour faire mon account ou bien viens montrer-moi comment pour faire un ticket management, comment pour garder mon ban finance, comment pour garder mon ban, comment pour manager mon école. Tout ça, on a fait là, c'est ça qui nous dit access to knowledge and expertise, the knowledge of expertise of both partners, right? And then we have creative and innovative solution, okay? The third advantage, the emergence of creative, innovative solutions can be seen as following up on the latter. It is meant to cover all the advantages that can be associated with the fact that through partnership, parties can gain insight in the views of the others and learn from each other so that knowledge is accumulated. Creativity is stimulated and a wider range of solutions can be generated. For example, si une compagnie inal vers un NGO, il est capable d'apprendre parce que parfois, comme nous dire, un NGO est plus créatif, right? Et ils innover parce qu'ils sont dans le bain, ils travaillent tous les jours. Mais là, ils sont capables d'innovative solution qu'ils sont capables de proposer. Mais aussi, peut-être qu'un NGO peut avoir des gens qui sont capables de donner une solution et une compagnie là capable de donner. Right? So, creative and innovative solution. Eco-marketing. Eco-marketing is framed as a very important motive for companies to partner. If done well, partnership with other societal parties can enhance the image of a company within the company itself. So, for example, and with consumers, that companies can gain a competitive advantage through partnership. Eco-marketing, vous êtes, par exemple, si quand nous étions, disons, State Bank peut donner un banner, et dans ce logo, et dans ce nom, tout ça là, ça nous help sa compagnie là pour gagner, all right? Les promote son organisation, both. Par exemple, nous disons, NGOs, là, vous mettez, disons, vous mettez Marcus, peut faire cette activité-là, et voilà, sponsored by sa compagnie-là, qui est arrivée. Tous les deux partenaires, je gagne, peut faire marketing de ça, cette institution, right? Et par ça, les positifs, parce que, quand nous disons, disons, State Bank peut promote un NGO, nous peut faire good work, right? Mais là, tout le monde, ça nous dit, il peut market ce produit at the same time. Right? Legitimacy. Right? Final, the gaining of legitimacy or credibility is brought forward as an important advantage, particularly for government and for companies. Partnership can contribute to the legitimacy since they tend to take into account different views in a constructive, non-hierarchical way. This can create constituency support for the decisions that are taken. In a way, partnership resemble here the role that political participation classically plays. Both of them tend to further the acceptance and the implementation of decision. Legitimacy, right? Legitimacy veut dire, moun donne nous sa droit là pour faire. Ça veut dire, moi aussi, ou peut donner droit pour venir faire travail là, et moi aussi, moi peux prendre l'argent pour faire ce travail là, et tous les deux, hein? Legitimacy to do the work, right? So these are the advantages of the NGO CSR partnership. Any questions so far? Is it clear? Any questions so far? No? Allez, I pick and choose. No question, but right. Okay. Nisha, Avisha, dis-moi ça 5 l'avantage qui me dit là. Donne-moi un seul. Avisha? Soubron. Dis-moi un avantage qui nous fait causer là. Of NGO CSR partnership. Or write it. If you are on a device you cannot talk, write it. Avisha? No? Esha? No? Esha, allez, dis-moi.
An experience.
Comment?
Access to knowledge and experience.
Yeah, access to knowledge and experience. Explique-moi un petit peu.
C'est-à-dire un NGO, le fait qu'ils travaillent le grassroots level, peut-être c'est ban professional capabilities, donc ban business, c'est sa professional capability là pour aider, donc je travaille en partnership pour mieux donner un service.
Et compagnie là qui est arrivée, je prends ban knowledge avec ban NGOs, right? Parce que je connais plus about ban problem ban vulnerable. Okay? So Aisha, very good. Now, another one from Manish. Allez, Manish. Je pour tous les 5 là, hein, je me propose one, parce que ce n'est pas déjà ma expertise. Manish? Madi? As again? Madi as again? Dis-moi. Write it on your chat, please. Madi and Manish. Reshma. Reshma? Non, même vous êtes? OK. Vinesh? Vinesh?
Yes, madam.
Yes, tell me.
Eco-marketing.
Yeah. What is eco-marketing?
It can enhance the partnering with other societal parties, enhance the image of the company within the company
Very
itself.
good. Yeah.
Legitimacy also for gaining
So you given me
credibility.
2.
Yeah.
So you gave me 2. Very good. Okay. Now the fourth one from Sobha. Sobha, the fourth one.
Creative and innovative solutions.
Yeah, very good. What is creative and innovative solution?
The company is the NGO being more in contact with the society. They have the expertise and knowledge, to to provide and the solutions.
Yeah, so creative and innovative is about innovation. They do it not the common way. They innovate. Every time they're innovating because there are more and more social issues emerging. You're right? Innovate. Vous innover dans votre action. Je trouve que ça pas de marché. Je fais les autres. Ça veut dire pareil comment allez, moi dire des affaires pareil comment un NGOs, ils peuvent faire un compte. Ils peuvent quand même faire incoming and outgoing, right? Input and output. Mais une compagnie, il y a une façon qui dit fait, non? Il fait une financial, comment dire, international financial regulation, ok? Mais là, il a montré, c'est une innovation, il innovate, ok? Il y a beaucoup d'affaires qui ont montré, parce qu'ils ont sa expertise là, right? And the last one, and the main one, qui sont pas dire, qui est plus important, qui quelqu'un dire moi là? Mahesh? Ni bien, c'est ça? Ok, Vinesh? Vinesh, tu lèves la main? Voilà.
Yes.
Access to finance.
Access to finance, yes, madam.
Yeah, c'est access to finance. Plus important, c'est l'argent. Ça veut dire que nous avons access to resources and finances. Nous avons resources, des finances and resources. Parfois, il y a des resources qui, disons, une compagnie est capable d'envoyer, qu'on peut faire activité, est capable d'envoyer sur un staff pour faire une activité. So, access to financial resources and other human resources. Ça, c'est N. Deuxième, c'est knowledge and expertise. C'est comme ça, vous êtes un chronological, does it Latin, and knowledge and expertise, right? Troisième, c'est creative and innovation, ok? Quatrième, c'est eco-marketing. Et cinquième, c'est legitimacy, right? Premier, ça veut dire que vous gagnez l'argent, vous commencez à faire travail là. Là, vous apprenez, vous gagnez ça. Creativity and innovation, vous pouvez apprendre avec, non, gain expertise avec ça, parce que nous pouvons faire avec l'expérience, avec une knowledge, ça des affaires là. Là, comment nous faisons travail là, avec créativité, innovation, tout ça. Je trouvais, je trouvais qu'il y a un flow. Là, nous pouvons faire, quand nous pouvons faire ça, un travail là, nous pouvons, et comme marketing, ça veut dire nous pouvons promouvoir. Nous tous les deux, nous pouvons promouvoir mon NGO, l'organisation là pour promouvoir l'organisation. Et dernièrement, quand une fille fait tout travail là, nous legitimate to do it because nous have a win-win NGO CSR partnership et que nous fait une win-win situation. Is it clear now? Vous pouvez prendre comme ça, bien dans l'autre, right? Parce qu'il y a un flow là-dedans, right? Maintenant, shortcoming of NGO and CSR partnership. Shortcoming. So there is blurring of tasks and responsibility. Par exemple, nous avons blurring, et nous avons sector blurring, nous ne connaissons pas qui sont là pour commencer, qui travaille et qui sont là pour finir, qui travaille. So blurring of tasks and responsibility. One first shortcoming or risk is a possible blurring of tasks and responsibility. Partnering can bring about lack of clarity on which actor is responsible for what, and thereby can lead to avoidance of responsibility. Sometimes I'm from the NGO sector. Sometimes what happened? When an organization, when a CSR, when a company is giving money to you to do an activity, sometimes it accapare projet là. Right? Tout ça fait pour eux. Quand il y a NGO là, comment dire, so rôle minimize. Ça nous dit blurring of responsibility. À cause de ça, qui nous dit besoin d'avoir stratégique, besoin d'avoir well-defined roles and responsibility of each and every actor in a project, right? Moi qui m'en peux faire, côté mon limitation, ou qui peut faire, côté limitation, right? Ou pas capable de faire ça pour moi, right? Après, moi, mon là-bas, disons, on peut faire activité là, compagnie là, une de malheureuse. CEO là vini, il fait un speech inédit et il donne NGO là 3 minutes pour faire ce speech. You see, ça veut dire qu'il finit hijack sa projet là. Ça veut dire blurring of tasks and responsibility, right? And legitimacy, deuxième c'est legitimacy loss. A related risk is legitimacy loss, whereas partnership on one hand may contribute to legitimacy of the parties involved. These parties, on the other hand, risk losing legitimacy when they start working on topics that are traditionally not their field of expertise or responsibility and with partners they did not previously work with. Parfois, arrivé qu'il y ait une compagnie, disons, moi, une compagnie, un NGO qui peut work avec drug abuse. OK? Mais, à ce moment, je connais une compagnie qui peut donner l'argent le gender equality, promoting gender equality. Right? À cause de moi, déjà, non, moi, de nous casse là, mais où faire cette activité-là. But sometimes, qui arrive, comme on peut faire travail, on ne peut pas faire bien. Ça nous a une legitimacy loss. So companies, for example, risk being accused of seeking to gain influence over NGOs. Ça aussi est là, right? Comment on dit là-haut, blurring of thoughts, il fait pareil. Comment dire, moi, je suis besoin de faire travail là, mais ben là, je vais faire travail là pour nous. So while NGOs in turn could be accused of cooperating with the traditional enemies instead of putting them under pressure. Right? So instead of moi, je promote ces affaires-là, je vais promouvoir l'autre affaire et qui peut arriver, mon activité pas peut achieve goal qui moi tu besoin achieve. Right? And then, so in fact, I've neatly captured the statement below from Bo, referring to concern about the genuineness of NGOs. Et about NGOs, comment on peut dire, il y a beaucoup NGOs qui disent qu'ils cassent, mais ils n'ont pas pu faire travail là as a consequence of growing skepticism about NGOs, ironic acronym abound, such as BRINGOs, ça veut dire Briefgate NGOs. Nous connaissons beaucoup de NGOs qui peinent, qui pas vrai NGOs, mais ils ont un briefcase qui n'est pas voyager, ils peuvent dire qu'ils peuvent promouvoir l'environnement, ils peuvent faire ceci, cela. Et en fait, ils sont intelligents. Ils sont intelligents, ils peuvent préparer position paper et ils peuvent voyager enchaînement. Nous avons Bongos, business organized NGOs, parce que business, ils n'ont pas envie de donner NGOs l'argent. Alors, ils ont fini faire NGOs, à ce moment-là, des foundations, qui ban Ciel Foundation, nous avons Rogers Foundation, nous avons State Bank Foundation, qui créé, ce qu'ils ont fait, ils ont pris leur CSR, et dans 25% qui restent là, ils ont mis dans sa foundation là. Après, ils ont servi ça, mais qui arrivait, ils ont payé les staff, ils ont faire ça. Pongos, politically organized NGOs, nous avons Dongos, donors organized NGOs, Congo's government organized NGOs, and our Rongo's royal organized NGOs, Mongo's my own NGO. So, and in a market-oriented NGOs. So there is a general feeling that almost every association seems to feel entitled to call itself an NGO, while the boundary between two NGOs and associations that pursue business orientation or government-dictated agendas are far from clear. Right? So, in some NGOs, là, gagnent beaucoup d'argent, les gens ont legitimacy loss, right? Ils n'ont pas pu connaître est-ce qu'ils peuvent faire, est-ce qu'ils ont genuine NGO ou pas, right? And then we have cultural differences, right? So another criticism, cultural differences, is a container term for the fact that when different organizations partner, one will often face challenges related to differences in culture and language, right? Parfois, il y a culture differences. Parfois, il y a, par exemple, nous prenons une compagnie qui sortit dans l'Inde, puis donne l'argent à NGO. Puis parfois, ils ont envie de faire dans d'autres façons. Ils disent, dans mon pays, tu peux faire comme ça, qui fait pas qu'à faire ici, right? So this is sometimes even literal when the partnership crosses national borders. Overcoming these differences take time and effort. Although the benefits could be worth the workload, authors generally conclude that parties that form partnership need to take cultural differences into account before and during the process. Is it clear? Is it clear, cultural differences? Is it clear, guys? Any question? Allez-vous-y. Any question? Are you with me? Are you all with me?
Oui, madame.
Yes,
Yes.
Okay, and the last one is insecure outcomes. So lastly, partnership outcomes are insecure. Are the other challenges mentioned above indicate partnership are in most cases not business as usual for the participant, and participant take a risk by engaging in them. For example, one that resources can be wasted if the desired outcomes are not achieved, right? So sometimes insecure, we want to achieve one objectives, but at the end of the day, we see that the resources received for achieving these objectives has been used for other activities. Okay, so insecure outcome. Okay, I'll give you 2 minutes to review this, and then I will ask you some question, right? So there are 4: blurring, legitimacy loss, and you have cultural differences and insecure outcome. Okay, look, for example, I'm coming in a minute. Right? What do you understand by cultural differences, Beatrice? Béatrice, qui vous comprend par cultural differences? Allez, Béatrice, essayez.
Vous m'entendez, madame? Bonjour.
C'est bon,
Oui.
Béatrice.
Donc, du coup, cultural, c'est la différence, comme si, par exemple, nous prenons, comment tu disais là, si une organisation donne une ligne de nous l'aide, donc, je n'ai pas envie de faire les façons qu'ils ont fait, contrairement à nous ici.
Oui, là, qui besoin faire? Ça veut dire nous besoin take it to account, non? Nous besoin
de façon qui va là.
Non, nous pas besoin faire de qui façon qui va là, pas besoin faire nous besoin mais d'autres à l'autre qui va là, oui, faire ça là-bas, mais dans Maurice pas pour marcher.
Des cas différents, exactement.
Oui, voilà, des cas différents. Nous besoin come to consensus, okay, so that we can achieve our goals, right?
Oui.
Ok, Béatrice, merci beaucoup. Maintenant, les quanti. Qu'est-ce que ça veut dire insecure outcomes? Allez, les quanti. Essayez. There is nothing wrong. Essayez les quanti. Les quanti? Are you here? Emma? Emma?
Yes.
Yeah, les quanti, allez, me donne les quanti avant parce qu'il est quanti in rentrée là. Elle là, Emma. Et les quanti, qu'est-ce que ça veut dire insecure outcome? Ok. Les quanti, moi, une pas capable de causer mon quoi. You can write on chat, hein? Emma, what is insecure outcome?
Resources given has been used for something else.
Yeah. Et sometimes, what is outcome?
Frustration.
Comment?
Frustration.
Outcome veut dire qui nous envie achieve. OK? What we want to achieve. The goals, the outcome. Qui nous envie gagner. Disons, nous payons dans the process pour make a cup. At the end, the outcome is the cup. Yeah? OK? Mais in the process, insecure outcome veut dire qui, comme dire, quand on gagne l'argent pour faire une cup, at the end, de trouver une gobelet and verre. Yeah. Devika said, insecure outcome, we don't get the expected result, right? Ça veut dire qu'il n'arrive. Ça, resources là, in waste, right? Okay? And Vinis, you raise your hand. You raise your hand. Who raised? There was someone, yeah. Maybe Fabian then, yeah. Avinash? Avisha? You raise your hand, yeah?
Yes, ma'am. Sorry, you asked the question and I could not answer before.
No worries. Yeah, you can tell me.
Yes, so we're talking about the insecure outcomes, and
Yeah.
that's what I wanted to say. So the desired outcomes could not be achieved, and
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah, what we want to achieve. Say, for example, we want to eliminate poverty, right? We want to eradicate, we can't say we want to eradicate poverty. Say, for example, we want to like stop people from taking drugs, right? We got funding from a company, and then we went for activities and we did everything. But at the end of the day, to motivate these people to come, we have like we have done catering, tent, tout ban affaires qui nous fait, mais nous n'appelons eux, nous causons eux. Mais at the end of the day, nous pas réussi à achieve, c'est que nous pas réussi tiers ça man du monde là dans ça l'argent que nous gagnons là, nous pas réussi tiers ça man du monde là dans la peine là, right? Faire stop taking drugs. Mais qui nous fait nous dépenser 10 dans manger boire, faire l'attente, manger boire, nous n'appelle du monde resource person, nous payons eux l'argent. Mais qui nous besoin faire en fait? Quand nous gagnons l'argent, c'est que nous ça veut dire nous pas réussi achieve nos outcomes, right? Ce que nous sommes capables de faire, par exemple, quand nous pouvons faire une affaire comme ça, nous sommes besoin de donner un training, un follow-up avec la personne, pas nécessaire à manger tout ça là, mais nous sommes besoin de faire one-to-one, right? Par exemple, nous pas dire nous parle éradique, nous pas dire nous parle faire 110 moun sorti dans une sensitization campaign, nous tient autant du monde depuis dans la drogue. Non, nous pas dire nous faire une pilot basis, nous prenons 5 du monde, nous travaillons aux autres, nous guetter est-ce que ça inachieve, right? Là que nous pouvons faire, mais si nous pas achieve, ça veut dire ça l'argent qui nous gagne là, in all dans waste, right? OK? Maintenant, qu'est-ce que je comprends par legitimacy loss? OK. Diksha, Devina pan cause, mon vie turn de la voix Diksha. Allez, Diksha. Only 2 words. And Devina. Okay,
Corruption.
Devina. Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
Corruption.
Yeah. Sorry?
Incompetence or corruption.
Yeah, it can be that, but losing legitimacy is, for example, that you are not you don't know how to do the work. You receive the money and you couldn't achieve what was needed.
We fail to meet the expectations. No, it
Sorry?
can be like we fail to meet the expectation.
Yeah, and then as if you got this to do, you got this work to do, and you were unable to do it, right? You see, it's a legitimacy loss when they start working on topics that are traditionally not the field of expertise, right? And or responding with partners they did not previously work with, right? And what happened? The company is accused for not cooperating. Yeah, sometimes it's like that. So legitimate, we don't have our words, we are not given the importance. Okay, interns could be accused of cooperating and with the traditional enemies. Sometimes the judge peut trop collaborer. Alors, c'est pas bon. Right? And blurring of tasks and responsibility, guys. Okay, mo gitik sa pan cause. Isha, Manish, Tina. Shada. Allez, Shada, and words. Qui ça veut dire blurring of tasks? C'est facile, moi, nous, c'est qui facile là. OK. Saroja?
Et dans,
OK.
yes. Dans sa
Bisada,
situation,
dis-moi.
je pas qu'à décider qui c'est là qui peut faire. La responsabilité, c'est là pour prendre.
OK. Je accapare ban affaires, comme si dirais, si disons, pena, n'est pas clair. Qui ça a besoin de faire quoi? Right?
Yeah.
Not on the right track. Yes, Devika. They are not on the right track. They don't know what I need to do and what my partner need to do. Okay? Samdetha? Blurring of task. Okay? Any other one? Anyone want to add? No? Il y en a beaucoup parlé, me trouver. Juste même il restait. Moi, je n'ai pas envie de répondre. OK, no worries. Right? So, il y a quelque chose que j'ai envie de me clarifier. Parce que this is important, guys. This one is very important for you to know. À cause ça, me pose un peu de questions. Je t'ai dit bien, what is legitimacy loss, what is legitimacy eco-marketing, creative and innovative solution, access to financial resources, et sometimes you can access to knowledge and expertise. C'est also about human resources, parce que je serve human resources, les deux côtés pour help to help each other, right? Et aussi, une cause about moral and instrumental motivation. Instrumental veut dire bien calculated for win-win situation. Moral motivation veut dire you fair for common goods. Moral motivation is all about common goods, so for everyone, right? So moral and instrumental motivation. And then we went through what is the emergence of the rise of corporate power, the emergence of NGO CSR partnership qui fait commencement instead longtemps du multiplier la guerre, disons la guerre, mais là non plutôt nous collaborer, nous partner avec NGOs pour ne pas gagner la guerre là parce que quand tu fais la guerre il y a des court cases quand tu dépenses beaucoup alors c'est nous partenaires oui d'accord nous peut créer des social issues nous peut créer environmental disons nous peut dégrader l'environnement mais nous connaissons un NGO qui peut travailler pour l'environnement mais voilà nous donner l'argent nous dire ok moi on peut ça mais nous commençons à faire ça dans community development activities là, ok? Par exemple, disons, nous connaissons ce chemin-là, puis ça, nous embellir ali, nous planter un peu fleurs, tout ça là, nous donne travailler, par exemple, nous dire quand il y a ban NGOs, par exemple, nous avons Arsenal Force Vive, nous prend Terra, fait que là, parce que Lili na NGOs là, li na volontaire, Terra li na la terre, parti dans le nord, qui ont fait un environment day, qu'ils ont allé Terra avec bof, ban volontaire, ban Arsenal Force Vive, Terra in donne plante, et Arsenal Force Vive li donne main d'œuvre, et Terra aussi donne souvent main d'œuvre, zone plante fleurs dans tout au beau chemin. Pareil que moi, dans Flac aussi, on trouve fuel avec l'association qui est dans Condémas, zone plantée. Mais tout ça là, c'est pour faire embellir parce que c'est ça la même qui use ça chemin là parce qu'ils disons terra les quand tout ça là les affecter l'environnement mais quand on est dans quand on a fleur tout ça là les créer un good environment right so ça même nous dire qu'il fait instead of dire non moi ça toi ça moi ça besoin dire nous collaborer ok de place-moi comme un NGO, moi pour dire, moi pour poursuivre toi parce que tu peux dégrader l'environnement, mais là tu compagnie là bizarre la cour, mais instead à nous collaborer, tu venir, moi aussi nous venir, nous travaillons ensemble, nous connaissons qu'il y a une pollution, mais si nous plantons des arbres, nous sommes capables de diminuer un peu la pollution et blablabla et tout ça des affaires là, right? Is it clear why the NGO CSR partnership? Is it clear, guys? Qui nous guette dans ce chapitre-là, nous guette why the emergence of NGO CSR, why it is important to collaborate, what is the advantage, what is the disadvantage, in short. All right? Any question? Any question?
Yes, madam.
Yes.
I would like to ask something. I know an NGO. The members are all family members. They're all related.
Yeah. C'est FONGOs, family-oriented organization.
In Mauritius, I'm telling. Yeah.
Yeah, FONGOs. I know lots of organizations like this one. They are family-oriented organizations. But sometimes it's good. If they are doing good job, it's okay. If they are really volunteers. But if they are having funding and they are using for themselves, then it's not good, right?
No, they just meet and show videos of somebody talking about peace and well-being.
Okay. So they don't receive funding from anyone.
I don't know. Maybe they are receiving, but
yeah,
they are a registered NGO.
Yeah. Can I have the name of this NGO? Is it possible to have?
Peace and Well-being, something like that. They are affiliated with Prem Rawat.
I don't know this organization because they are not affiliated to us. Right?
I'll search and let you know exactly. And there is another NGO. It's a bit funny. The CSRs, that the money that the CSRs that this NGO receives. If you see the managing team of that NGO, they are the wives of those CEOs and managers, owners of those companies.
So you see what I said? They create organization and they use these.
Yes, and it's not simple companies. I'll just name some of the ladies there. One lady is Arel, another lady is Hospitalier Noël.
Yeah, so I know this one. I know this one. So yes. You see, this is a problem with NGOs in Mauritius. Yes. If you know someone, like I gave you the example, if you know someone, you can give the money and you tell them to do an activities. This is where there is legitimacy loss. Sometimes they are unable to do what they have to do. Yeah, and there is insult come. So when you are writing, you can give example, but give me clear like example what. You don't name the organization, right? You say organization exists in Mauritius and they are doing such thing. Yeah? Okay, so you can finish. These are good examples for you to write when you're writing your paper or you are writing anything. Right? It's very good because you see you have been like on say bouquiné and you have seen all these information. Like I showed you so many, I know lots of briefcase. Every time I travel, I see people going to the same conferences, but they don't have a good NGO in Mauritius that are performing, that are implementing activities related to the areas of where they are going to present papers. They are only professional. They know how to write papers. They send to the host, like those who are hosting the conferences, and then they go and just read the paper and come to Mauritius. Okay, so these are the things that we have to bear in mind as social workers. And I think Devika has asked me whether there is a regulating body for the NGOs. We have the Registrar of Association. Yeah, we have the Registrar of Association that accredit NGOs, give accreditation to NGOs, right? They register the NGOs. And every year, these organizations are supposed to give a statement of account. They are supposed to give a list of office bearers and things like that. But they don't interfere like in the day-to-day running of these organizations. This is one thing. Like they don't go and visit whether the organization is genuine. Like Venus, you say there are organizations which are registered organization, which are receiving funding from CSR, but are not doing, I don't know, but they are not doing, no, they are not appropriately doing what they need to do, right? So these are these organizations. So Registrar of Association is here just to give accreditation and just to see the statement of account and blah, 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 and a report. But I don't think they go they don't have like officers to visit this organization. The second thing is that we have the National Social Inclusion Foundation. Okay. The National Social Inclusion Foundation, they have to report to the government or to the, with regard to the consolidated fund they receive, the CSR. The CSR fund they receive through the consolidated fund for community development program. This organization, the National Social Inclusion Foundation, have like, they have how do you say, project coordinators, and they go through the project implementation process, right? They visit the organization, they see whether the organization is doing the work appropriately. And these are the two, and we have my organization, the Mauritius Council of Social Service. We also give accreditation to the NGOs. We also see the credential of these NGOs every year, whether they are doing well or not, right? But we don't go like in depth in what they are doing, whether they are implementing, because we don't provide funding. If you don't provide fund to an organization, how are you going to like look for accountability in this organization, right? But we request for an annual report. And if we see that the organization has implemented one or two activities, even that they don't receive funding, then we help them, these organizations. For example, we do like training in project writing, we do in communication and so on. So these are the organization that look into like NGOs. But as you say, there is no, apart from National Social Inclusion Foundation, there is no institution, like government institution, that go and look into whether these organizations are genuine or not, right? It all depends on project implementation that National Social Inclusion Foundation is looking at, right? So any other question? Is it clear, Devika? Okay, thank you. Yeah. Any other question, guys? No? So can I stop here if there is no question? Or do you want any clarification? Please answer. Vinesh, I think you can answer. Can you stop here? Yeah, I will put it on, you can download it now. You can download, but I will put it on Blackboard, right?
Okay, madam, I think we don't have any more questions.
Yeah, right. Okay, so I stop here, guys. Have a nice weekend, and we meet for the next session, right? Okay, have a good day. Thank you. Have you downloaded? Please download the PowerPoint. Have you already downloaded?
Yes. Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Okay. I stop here. Bye.
Bye.
Bye. Thank you, guys, for the sympathy. Thank you very much. I'm still in the transition phase, which is very difficult. Okay. So take care. Bye.
Au revoir, madame. Bon week-end.
Au revoir. Ok, au revoir.